Hey, cutie pies, I'm Lanikia, and you're watching What Happened on the Soaps. This is the Young and the Restless edition. All right, guys, today is Friday. Yay! August the 20, August the 12th, 2022. And on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this one it was like a 7.5. It was like a 7.5. There was one couple in particular, y'all know I'm very invested in. So let's get moving. All right, we see Billy and Chelsea, y'all. And really, I'm just gonna cut to the chase with this. I'm not gonna hold you long. Billy and Chelsea are talking about Johnny and Connor. And she wants to let Johnny know that she is his biological mother. And he said, why? We had a good thing going on. And she says, well, I know we made an agreement and everything, but she's ready for the change. She wants to change the agreement. And Billy is just like, I'm going to have to think about it and I'm going to have to tell Victoria or whatever. But I don't know. And I don't know why Chelsea gets on my nerves. You know what? It is so. I don't know why it is, because I remember when she played other characters, and she worked my nerves. Like, she is great at what she does, because maybe she be working my nerves on these soaps. But anyways, so Billy says, "Come on, let's go get something to eat," and so they're off. So then we see Nate and Elena, and she's talking about, I don't know why it's taking so long. And he was like, the check. I didn't even like the way he was talking to her then. He was like, the check? I mean, finish your food. And I'm like, why are you talking to her like that? But she said, no, to get me out of the contract with Newman and everything. And he says, oh, because Sally comes into society. And he says, oh, Sally, we wanted to talk to you about Elena. You know, I know you had to reschedule the meeting. And she says, reschedule what meeting? And he says, the meeting between me, you, and Amani set it all up for us. And she said, no, there was never a meeting. I never canceled anything because there was never a meeting. And so she sits down and she looks through her stuff and she said, there was never a meeting. And so they were like, oh, it must have got confused. And Elena is me. Boy, ain't nothing got confused. There was never a meeting because Money never scheduled a meeting. And okay, we're going to get to this later. Don't start that, Nikki. Okay. So anyways, Nate talks to Sally, right? And so they're going back and forth on getting Elena out of her contract. And Sally said, why would we do that, Elena? You're finally starting to gain profit and everything. So why would we get you out of your contract right now? Why do you want to leave? And it did make, like, honestly, I get why Chancellor Winters wants her, but it doesn't make sense for Elena to want to go over there because you are doing your thing at Newman Media. And she said, oh, it's because it's stop and go sometimes and everything. But that's Sally is there now, so it's still like try to build something, work something with Sally. But you trying to get over there because you know what's going on between Nate and Money. Let me stop. Get to that later. Anyways, so Sally's saying all these things about why she wouldn't let her go. And I said, well, that makes business sense. And so Nate writes down a figure and Sally said, well, we're going to miss you over here. And I said, Nate. And he said, I just, so Sally leaves or whatever. So Nate and Elena continue to talk. And he said, I just had to write down enough zeros for her. And she says, that's not the real issue here, but we're going to get to them later, y'all. So then we see Kyle and Summer. So Kyle and Summer are speaking and everything. And he tells her about wanting to move Tessa over, be the face of Marquetti. One of the faces, I guess. And she was like, oh, that means Mariah. And he was like, you would barely work for her. And plus she wants to, make Tessa happy because of everything that's going on with Tessa. He said, plus she's got a great following. Did you see her album cover and all that? And they were like, yeah, okay, we'll do it. So then Mariah and Tessa are talking, and Tessa tells Mariah, why don't we think about, a different career move? I'm not going to hold you long on these because honestly, until something actually starts happening here, like some friction or something starts happening, they're just filling space. So then we see they all get together, Kyle, Mariah, Summer, and Tessa, and they offer Tessa a position. Now, let me tell you something. Tessa's skirt was gorgeous. I love that skirt. And I like that she dressed it down, but just having a plain tank top on with it. She could have put a necklace with it, and that would have been dressing it up. But she's just said, I'm just going to have a casual day, and I'm just going to dress it down. Just a plain tank top and a skirt. And it was so pretty. Like, I loved her skirt. Anyway, let's move on. So then we see they all sit down and they're talking and everything, and they tell Tessa, we want you as a face, and she said, it just reminds me of things I've lost. And they said, no, don't think about that, think about how you're going to grow your fan base even more, because the fashion people who might not have known you will start to know you, and then your fans will still be able to see you out and out doing stuff. And so she agrees to it. And then she tells Mariah, when ever Collins summer leave, don't act like you didn't have a hand in this. And she said, but I love it, and so I can't even be mad because I love you. And so it was all good there. So then we see Sally is at the society, and Billy and Chelsea come in, and then Chelsea tells Billy, hold on just a minute. And so she goes over there and she's picking with Sally. I can't stand Chelsea. But Sally, my girl, so that's why. So she's picking with Sally and everything about her breakup with Adam. And Sally said, well, how was your breakup with him? Didn't you do it like 5 or 6 times? Y'all couldn't make it work, and y'all have a child together. And so Chelsea gets up and she leaves or whatever. And then she goes to Billy, and he said, everything okay? And when Sally leaves out, she smirks and is like, I said, girl, you haven't changed. This is why they don't want you really around Johnny. You haven't changed. I'm sorry, Chelsea is just, the fact that every time we see her, she's always running after like a man that's already let me just move on. Anyway, so they start talking or whatever, and she tells him, I love this energy you have about the podcast. And he says it makes him feel good to be throwing out these ideas. And she says, how do you feel about working as COO? And he says, that's good. I can't really answer that. And she said, that means that you're not happy. I said, Chelsea, leave this man alone. Oh, my nerves. And then Sally, you my girl, but you working my nerves, letting Chelsea get to you. So now you texting Adam. His offer still stands about like Newman. I said, girl, he about to use you. Oh, girl. Ooh. Then we go back to Nate and Elena, and this just took the cake for me. Elena says, Nate, there was never a meeting with Sally. And he says, there might have been some crossing. She was like, sir, that woman wanted an intimate dinner with you. She never invited Sally to that meeting. How do you not see this? She said, at this point, you don't want to see it. You're doing like you don't want to know what's going on with Sally. So it feels like you're doing this on purpose. She said that you're purposely not seeing what Imani is doing, because there was never a meeting with Sally, and she did it on purpose and everything. And he says, well, Imani understands me. She knows what I'm going through in this corporate world. And she says, what is that supposed to mean? Like, I don't understand what you're going through. He says, every time we talk, it feels like you take Devon's side. And Elena says, I don't understand. Devon has business experience. You're coming from medical. That's different. He said, don't you forget I have a degree in business, and I was running a whole hospital. And she said, it's different. It is different, Nate. What do you not understand about it being different? And she said, it sounds like you a beautiful woman, because y'all, you could say a lot about money, but she bad. A beautiful woman is sitting here stroking your ego, telling you what you want to hear, and I'm not doing that. Like, Elena telling him the truth. You need to back off Devon or whatever. And he was like, it seemed like you always taking her to Devon's side, and Imani, she understands because she has this own dynamic with Amanda, but Imani is not risking her job. Imani is not risking her job with Amanda. You are, sir. And what is the end game here? And she was like, you just want a cheerleader or whatever. And he just tells her, you don't understand the dynamic, and Money is not doing anything. She's just a friend, and he's acting like she's just insecure and doesn't know what's going on. And she's telling him, like, I'm not that insecure, and I know exactly what's going on. Like, spare me all of this. But it is what it is. So Nate gonna mess up this relationship with Elena, and it's nobody's fault but his own, because he working my nerves with it. But anyways, guys, that was the Young and the Restless today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you next week for a new episode of The Young and the Restless. What happened on the soaps, The Young and the Restless edition. It's the weekend. Be safe, be blessed, And I was thanks for watching. Goodbye.